Do you believe in God? Now that might seem like a random question to you, but it's actually really relevant with what I want to talk about today. Because believing in God is a belief. We're believing in something that we can't see, but some people believe in it so much that their entire life feels so amazing because you know you're being watched by something that is a higher power. Now imagine if the way and the conviction that you had for believing in God, if you could utilize the same energy, believing in the most magnificent future for you, what do you think becomes possible then? Because if you have a strong belief in God, you will work your life around that accordingly, right? So if you visualize the ultimate vision for your future and you bring that vision into the now, can you imagine how different you would start showing up as? Because according to neuroscience, you can actually rewire your brain in a way that you can live your future in the now through using visualization. Now there's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system. It's a bunch of nerves in the back of your skull that acts as a filtering system. Now who has designed that filtering system? You have. Not circumstances or, that person said this person said that. No, you have designed your reticular activating system. Now, your reticular activating system is activated when you focus on something. So if you're focusing on the lack of your perfect life, the lack of money, love, whatever it might be, the perfect body, you're going to feel accordingly. And then your brain is going to start filtering out all the good stuff to just bring more of the bad stuff. And then you start feeling worse. And then you go, why is my life never changing? Because you are focusing on something that you don't want. But what if you knew what the ultimate vision would be for you? And what if you would put all of your conviction and truly believe, like you believe in God, that this future is happening for me and it's happening now. So what research then shows is that you can actually start to live that life now, because actually what you're chasing with that life is how you feel. So if you feel more confident, which you would be feeling in that life, and you start feeling that right now, your brain's going to start to look in a different dimension. It's not going to look for lack anymore. It's going to start looking for abundance. If I feel great about myself, then I'm expecting life's going to go great. I feel great. If I love myself, if I love being me, and I love my future, and I'm so in love with it, your brain's going to start filtering out everything that's standing in the way of getting you to that future. This is the key to having everything that you want. And you know what? If you don't know what your compelling future looks like, you can use this technique on visualizing the compelling person that you want to become. One day in the future, I'm going to have confidence enough to stand on stage. One day in the future, I'm going to have confidence enough to ask someone out or to go on a trip on my own. Well, if you live like that person already does now, your confidence is going to increase. You're going to become a person of magnetism. People are going to come to you and they're going to say, what is it that you have? We want some of that. Because that's strengthening your self-love. So how do we do this now? Well, visualization, like I mentioned from the beginning, is one of the keys. And Joe Dispenza actually did some studies around this, which I find absolutely fascinating. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's just in your vision, right? Which is so good for us, because that means if I'm visualizing something, your brain actually thinks it happened. If I'm visualizing being strong, your brain thinks you're actually strong. He did studies around people playing the piano. So I had one group who just visualized themselves actually playing the piano, visualize every single day, visualize themselves playing piano, didn't actually play it. And then they had one group who actually played the piano. And then he actually checked out their brain scans. And the same place in their brain was activated by the people visualizing it and by the people actually doing it. Which means you can create whatever future that you want now and activate that part of your brain in this moment. Isn't this absolutely fascinating? So we do it through visualization. Here's a 3-step process to how you can start your journey to creating your dream vision or your dream person right now. Number 1, Visualize it. Sit down for a minute, and this doesn't have to be like, oh, and I don't like meditation. You know what? It's not fluffy stuff. Meditation is science. Just put that aside. Just get rid of that blueprint that you have in your head and go with an open mind. You can have music. You don't have to have music, whatever it might be. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes, because you got to get internal, right? If your eyes are open, you're going to focus on everything else. Too many influences from the external world. Close your eyes. Get into your breathing. Take deep breaths and center yourself and focus your breath and focus on your heart. Then you put your hand on your heart and you visualize. What would be a compelling future for you, or the compelling vision of who you want to become? You visualize it, see it in front of you. See it in front of you. What would you do? You would stand on stage, you'd be courageous, you'd wear this, you'd go to the gym, you'd be doing that, The dream vision, you've been living in the dream house. This is the dream individual that would be in the house with you. You know, whatever vision it might be. See it in front of you. That's step one. Step two, now you got to connect it with emotion. Because you can never visualize things and that's it. It's got to go from brain to heart. Brain and heart coherence, right? So then you feel the emotions. What emotions would I feel? Love, safety, security, excitement, compassion, freedom, gratitude, whatever it might be. Feel the connection. So go from vision to heart. And then you visualize and connect that with your emotion. And then you sit with that. You sit with that, you feel it, you send gratitude to it. You live like it's already happening right now. And then when you get out of the meditation, step 3, you decide one action step you're gonna take, and you decide it immediately when you're in the state, right? When you're in the state that you're in that state of visualization, you're in that state of feeling your future. You decide one action step you're going to take, and you immediately implement that action step. That is how you start your journey to having everything that you want in your life, so you can stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the designer of your future.